So I want to talk about this idea that's been on my mind a lot lately. I'm calling it strategic friction. And it's really all about this invisible force that's popping up because of the frankly insane new pace of work we're all experiencing.
I mean, have you noticed it too? The speed of everything? It just feels like the time between having an idea and then actually seeing it come to life is collapsing into almost nothing. And this acceleration, it's not just a small change, it's rewriting the fundamental rules of how we work and how we lead.
Okay, so let's get into this. This new pace, it isn't just about our technology getting faster. It's that all these tools we have now, from automated workflows to AI that helps us code, they're compressing our execution time so much that they're shining a massive spotlight on our strategic assumptions, almost in real time. It's a whole new ballgame. Think about it like this. In the past, we had a buffer, a little bit of a cushion. If our thinking was a bit fuzzy or a purpose wasn't crystal clear, the slow development cycles kind of hid that. You had time to fix it. But now, that buffer is completely gone. Speed doesn't hide vague thinking anymore. It amplifies it. It basically puts it on a megaphone for the whole world to see.
And it's the exact same story with misalignment. A poorly framed objective used to be this quiet problem that could just drift along for a while. Now, it causes immediate, painful friction. You see it right away. Work going in the wrong direction, processes grinding to a halt, and teams that are just completely stressed out. So, here's the most important point in all this. Speed doesn't hide our flaws. It does the opposite. It exposes the very structure of our thinking, our planning, and our organizations. It's like holding up a giant, unforgiving mirror to how we really get things done. And if you think about it from a systems point of view, it makes total sense. No decision ever happens in a vacuum, right? Your product features, your operational processes, your company culture, they're all woven together. So when you hit the accelerator on one part of that system, let's say you're shipping features faster, you immediately put all the connections to your processes and culture under a massive stress test. And the weak spots, they don't just crack anymore, they shatter.
So what on earth do we do about it? How do we adapt? Well, the first and I think most critical answer is what I call a demand for upstream clarity. It's all about getting things right at the very, very beginning, long before the real work kicks off.
So what this means is that every single initiative, every choice we make has to be anchored to a crystal clear purpose from day one. Any little bit of ambiguity that used to be a small problem we could just fix down the line, well, now it compounds exponentially. It costs us a ton of time, money, and maybe worst of all, team morale.
Vague intentions just can't hack it at this new pace. They get exposed almost instantly in the final product. So for us as leaders, we absolutely have to be able to explain precisely why we're doing something and exactly how it fits into the grand scheme of things. But look, upstream clarity on its own isn't quite enough. It needs a partner. And that second pillar is disciplined thinking. Just because we can create things at lightning speed doesn't mean we get to throw structured decision-making out the window. In fact, it's more important now than ever before.
I really like to think of these disciplined frameworks as the scaffolding for our work. They're the structure that makes sure all that speed is actually building something meaningful, instead of just creating a whole lot of chaos. They give us the guardrails we need to move fast without flying off the tracks. And this kind of discipline isn't super complicated. It really comes down to 3 basic commitments. First, we have to be brutally honest about the trade-offs we're making. Second, we have to get better at anticipating those ripple effects across that whole interdependent network we talked about. And finally, we have to embed our strategic intention directly into the processes we build.
And this, right here, is the crucial transformation. Just look at the difference. Without discipline, speed is a risk multiplier. It just makes the chaos happen faster. But with discipline, now that same speed becomes a force amplifier. It's the rocket fuel that helps us achieve what we set out to do. So all of this really points to a huge, necessary evolution in what it means to be a leader. In a world where our tools can execute tasks at unbelievable speeds, the uniquely human part of leadership becomes even more valuable.
This is the absolute heart of it. Our tools are phenomenal at executing tasks, but they can't interpret our intent. That is our job, making sure that every single accelerated action lines up with our bigger strategy and purpose. That is the work of a leader today.
So yeah, our role shifts. We become translators. We become integrators. Our job is to translate that strategic intent into clear, actionable steps.
It's to design the organizational structures that keep everyone aligned. And it's to guide our teams so they can make their own autonomous decisions that are still perfectly in sync with the mission.
When we start to bring all of these pieces together, the clarity, the discipline, and this new way of looking at leadership, we can start building organizations that don't just survive this new pace, but actually learn to thrive in it.
Leadership stops being this reactive game of just putting out fires all day long. It becomes a proactive act of orchestration. We're not just managing projects anymore. We're designing the systems. We're anticipating the dependencies. We are embedding clarity deep into the DNA of our organizations.
In this environment, resilience isn't built by slowing down, not at all. It's built by making thought, intention, and structure the very bedrock of speed. When you have those elements locked in place, moving fast reveals excellence, not weakness.
So ultimately, the question for all of us as leaders isn't, can we keep pace anymore? The technology is pretty much going to guarantee that we can. The real question, the harder question, is this. Have we done the difficult upstream work to build the systems of clarity and discipline that make all this speed actually serve our strategy instead of accidentally undermining it?